Hi, this is Shireesha from Business of Administration Department, Institute of Aeronautical Engineering. So I'm here to discuss about a subject where we are going to deal with business economics and financial analysis. So in the first half of the syllabi, we are going to discuss about business economics. And the second part of the course is all about financial analysis. So coming to business economics. So in this business economics, we are going to deal with different aspects like markets, cost, pricing, consumer behaviors, what is demand, how to match demand and supply, what are the demand determinants, what is law of demand, exceptions of law of demand, and various aspects in this business economics. So coming to this business economics, so before we go on to the syllabus, we would like to know about what is economics first of all. So why you need to study this economics? So any individual should know about what is this economics. So why we need this economics? So we need to know about, or we need to study about this economics because one will understand what is their own spending habits, how an individual is earning money and how an individual is spending money is all about economics. We are not only dealing with only individual person, we are dealing with many different aspects, like we are dealing with individual, groups, organizations, industries, society, or government as a whole. So anywhere, uh, everywhere we deal with economics because every person would like to earn money and would like to spend money. So how he is spending money matters a lot here. So one should act rationally. That is what is economics. So here we have unlimited wants. I like to have something, like my aim or my goal at this moment to have a car. So when I want to have a car or when I want to buy a car, so what I need to do? I need to earn money to satisfy that want which I want to buy a car. So I'm going to earn money to satisfy my want. So once I satisfy my basic want, that is like whatever want I have, so I'm satisfied with buying a car. Am I satisfied really? No, I'm not going to be satisfied with this only just buying a car. Once I satisfy that want, I get another want or another wish that I want to buy a building or I want to buy a property. So as I go on buying things or I go on satisfy my wants, so I am also going to get more and more number of wants. So here we have unlimited wants. We have unlimited wants, but we need to satisfy our wants which are really rational to us. So like I want to become like Ambani. Is it possible? It is not possible, but we can achieve to some extent with the resources whatever we have. As per my economic condition, as per my earning ability, I'm going to earn money and satisfy my own wants, whatever I can go with satisfaction levels. So this is all about economics. So one is going to understand their own spending habits in this economics. So that is the reason we are going to study about economics today. So coming to the next part. So generally, we are feeling that economics is all about a relationship between many things, or we are going to deal with statistical methods, or we are going to deal with some quantitative methods. it is not just only dealing with curves or models or relationships. We are going to study economics as a nuanced, because here economics is going to be at micro level as well as macro level. Micro level economics. So coming to micro level economics, it is like we are going to study at a minute part of each and every activity. So that is very, we are going to take a single small unit and study about it. That is what is microeconomics. And when we unite everything and as a whole we study about an activity or as a society, then we call it as a microeconomics. So here we are dealing with different relationships in this economics. Like for example, we can take demand. So here when we consider demand, there are two important aspects comes to our mind, that is price and quantity demanded. So what is price? What is the relationship between price and quantity demanded? So here when the price increases, what is demand? So what is the relationship between relation with the demand? So if price is increasing, demand obviously gets reduced, right? So if price is increasing, demand is decreasing. If price is decreasing, demand is going to increase. This is all about law of demand. So here we are going to study about the relationship between price and quantity demanded, right? So here we are studying the relationship between two aspects. That is what is about economics. So here we are not only going to deal with different variables in whatever we are going to consider. So we are also going to relate so many aspects like what is the supply, what is demand, what is costing, what is pricing, what is production. So all these also comes into the picture of economics. So here in this economics, we are going to relate and study each individual parts. Okay. So when we are studying this economics, we need to know about different aspects which are going on in the economics. So the very first important point is that we are going to, when we start producing something, we must know, as a producer, we must know what is the demand for that particular product, whatever we are going to produce. So for production, what we require? We require some raw material. So whether that raw material we are going to buy it from outside or we are going to make inside the production unit. So that is the first decision we need to take. So here, how rationally we behave, how rationally we are going to take the decisions is all about economics. So in production, we must, a producer must study the consumer behavior first of all. So here, consumer behavior is nothing but here how a consumer reacts for a particular product, whether he likes the product, what is his perception of the product. So is he going to buy that particular product or he needs some customization for the product? So all these aspects come into the picture now. So as a producer, he must first check what is the consumer behavior for the product which he is going to produce, and next point is he has to check what is the demand for his product in the market. So unless he's checking the demand, economics is all about, we are going to relate all the aspects and studying the economics. Okay. So in this, we have got different parameters to study economics. So those are like production, markets, demand, supply, costing, pricing. So not only these aspects, we can also consider so many other aspects into the this criteria and study economics. So everywhere we have economics. So as a producer, let's understand how production goes on. So first, he need to take decision whether he's going to buy the raw material from outside, or he's going to make the raw material from his own unit. So this is a make or buy decision. So he has to take a decision here, right? So here he is going to produce something. For doing production, first of all, he need to know how much quantity he's going to produce to meet the demand of the market. So he is going to supply the products. Before he supply the products, he must know what is the consumer perception or customer perception. So for that, he need to know what is the consumer behavior. So when comes to consumer behavior, I would like to tell you about one consumer behavior. One law of consumer behavior is law of diminishing marginal utility. For example, if I like to, my favorite fruit is apple. I would like to have an apple now. So when I'm having an apple, so immediately I'm going to get a lot of satisfaction because that is my favorite fruit. So I'll calculate this satisfaction at in terms of utilities. Okay. So when I calculate in terms of utility, for the first apple, when I have that, I'm getting 10 units of utilities. So immediately I'm going to have the second apple because it's my favorite fruit. I'm going to have it immediately. So my satisfaction for the second apple will be same for the when I compare with the first one. Definitely no. I may have only 9 utilities. My satisfaction is going to be only 9 utilities. Okay. So coming to the third one, I'm going to have another one more apple. So when I have the third apple, I'm going to have only 7 utilities. My satisfaction level comes down. Okay. So one after the other, I'm going to consume the apples because that is my favorite fruit. So without any time interval, if I'm having a product, then what happens? My satisfaction levels comes down. Is it not? Definitely. Because first apple will give me lot of satisfaction. When I eat 10 apples at a time, the 10th apple which I'm going to consume is going to be like, it is going to be sour to me, right? Or bitter, because my satisfaction levels has come down like anything, because without any time interval, I'm consuming that particular product. Why I quoted this example? Because here, if according to the production, so according to the producer's point of view, he cannot produce all the goods at a time, and he feels that all the products are going to be sold at a time. So here there should be some time interval between 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. So when how many people or how many consumers are going to buy the products. So here, according to this diminishing marginal utility, here our satisfaction level is going to come down as we are going with more and more consumption. Here we also have some assumptions like the taste of the product, color of the product, size of the product should be same, and we are not going to have any time interval for conducting this type of test in diminishing marginal utility. So this is all about diminishing marginal utility. This is one of the law of consumer behavior. So here, why I have given this example or considered this law of consumer behavior, because in production, before we produce, one must take the consent of the customers, whether really people are ready to buy that particular product. Yes or no? We don't know. So to know the customer perception, so we are going to consider this law of diminishing marginal utility or equi-marginal utility or consumer surplus. We also have indifference curve. All these are different types of consumer laws. Okay. So first we need to first a producer need to study about all these consumer laws, and then he's going to take the decision how many number of units he need to produce and how many number of units are going to be sold out of his box. So that is what he need to know. So for that purpose, he is going to study about all these laws, and then he is going to take the decision, and his decision should be rational. So coming to the next step, so demand. So whether there is demand for the market of this product, whatever this consumer is going to produce, yes, demand is there. How much demand is there? How can we measure the demand? That matters here. So here we need to measure demand. Here we have different determinants of demand. We are going to study about what is law of demand, what are the different parameters which are creating demand. So all these also we are going to study in this first half of the syllabus. So what is demand, what is determinants of demand, what are exceptions of law of demand, what is law of demand. So all these things we are going to deal with in this subject. And next comes to pricing or costing. So coming to costing, once a producer produces a product, he cannot he need to manage his cost, because if the cost of production is more, he cannot compete in the market. Maybe the product whatever he wants to produce is already there in the market, a similar kind of a product is already there, then he need to he need to take care of his cost very effectively, because cost controlling, cost cutting plays very important role in production. Okay. So here we are going to study about different types of costs. So what are the different types of cost? What is opportunity cost, which is very, very important, and explicit and implicit costs. So all these types of costs also we are going to study in this managerial economics, or we also call it as business economics now. So next comes to pricing. So based on cost, we are going to fix the price. So here we are going to depend on each and every parameter of these, and then we are going to correlate and find a relationship between each other, and then we are going to understand the whole business economics, and finally we will be in a position where we are going to understand what is this business economics. So coming to pricing, so what is this pricing uh, pricing, here we are going to deal with different types of price, like bundle pricing, or simple pricing, or pricing with like we are going to give some free samples. So there are different types of pricing activities, like what is at the time of competition, how we give our pricing of our product. So there is a stiff competition in the market for the product. So then how do we price? You are fixing your price at a higher level than your competitor. Do you think your product is going to be sold? No, definitely we cannot sell our product, right? So that's the reason what we need to check is we need to study about all the different types of pricing, and before that we need to study about all the different types of costs. So this all these we are going to correlate and study this as a whole called business economics. So let's study about what is definition of economics. It is all about how an individual person deals with decision making at the time of scarcity. Okay, so it is a study of how humans make decisions in the face of scarcity. So here we are going to study as an individual, as a family, or as a group, as a businessman, or as a society, as a government. Like we are going to consider this economics as a whole from micro to macro level. So how each individuals or each person is going to take the decisions at the time of scarcity. When there is scarcity, because when we have unlimited wants, we have unlimited wants, but we are going to deal with limited resources. You have unlimited wants, but you have only limited resources. You are earning only 10,000 rupees per month, but you say you want to have a bungalow. Is it possible? No, it is not at all possible. So here, what I mean to say is, we are going to study the individual behavior, and when he has unlimited wants, how he is going to choose the correct resource out of whatever limited resources is surrounded up around him. So based on that, he is going to choose the right resource, and he is going to satisfy his want. So out of the scarcity, how he is going to take a decision. That is what is all about this definition of economics. So different authors has given different definitions to us. So Alfred Marshall is a father of economics, has given his definition, which we call it as welfare definition. So as per Alfred Marshall, he says that economics is a study of mankind in the ordinary business of life. So economics is a study of mankind in the ordinary business of life. So this is a welfare definition given by Alfred Marshall. And one more important economist has given another definition, which is economics is a science which studies human behavior as a relationship between ends and scarce means which have alternative uses. So we are going to choose the best alternative, and we are going to as a human, we are going to behave in a rational manner, where we are going to choose the right alternative, which is going to have many uses for that resource, whatever we are going to choose. So this is about a definition of economics. So what is the importance of this economics? Why we are going to study economics? Because we are going to know about, or we are going to understand about the individual earning habits or spending habits, right? So here, not only just earning and spending, here we are also going to deal with what are the basic human needs, how the production distribution goes on, how we are going to reuse the resources for making it a better utilization and all. And we are going to generate different systems, or this economics is going to generate different systems and techniques that are going to help in public policies and improve the social welfare. And we can target the price according to this economics. The prices can be set as per the target prices of any good and service. As I was discussing earlier, like when we fix the price, we need to know what is the prevailing price of your competitor in the market, of the same product what is there, or a similar product what is there in the market. So that's the reason here it gives economics, it is one of the major importance of this economics, where it is helping us to set the price of a good and or a service. So it not only helps in fixing the price, it also adjusts the imbalances between the financial, and it is going to set off the social imbalances in political and financial aspects also. So finally comes to the last point, where it is going to provide lot of knowledge on techniques, how to prevent the crisis which will happen in future. We are going to assess, or we are going to know them in advance, and we are going to cut through them before the crisis happens. So this is the major importance of the economics. Thank you for the session.
Like, share, and subscribe. Hit the bell icon for more updates.